As I promised you last week, today also we've got another as the same teacher mm, to help you with or to cater your examination. Especially, you know that you'll have our grade 11 students or all level students. They are going to face their all examination after 10-15 days. Then uh, today we wish to focus paper two, like paper one. Paper two also plays a pivotal role in assessing you in the examination. So in the paper two, what about the content? Hmm? It's very important. What kind of skills are tested or assessed? I think those things are very important. That's why, as usual, Alpha U Web Radio joining with NIE as the ancestral home of education. We are ready to cater you, especially focusing paper two today. Then, when I asked about that, or in our discussion, we'll break down each section, highlighting common challenges and share useful tips to excel your knowledge. So stay with us as we explore how to master the second paper of oral English. So here I would like to especially remember our Madam Dr. Chamilani Shanti Edward. She guide and direct us to cater the oral students who are going to face your pivotal exam very soon. Then today also, uh, Mrs. Shyama Liyanage, as she joined us last week to talk about the paper one. Today she has come to our studio. Then really, I'm really
Yeah.
glad to welcome you for our
Yes.
studio today to
Thank you.
continue discussion on paper two. And I think this is also a very big opportunity for our students to talk about, to have some extra knowledge about the paper too. Today also we would like to share your wealth of knowledge, especially your experience teaching work, marking papers also. Then let's have a good approach today also to share your valuable experience and knowledge about paper marking, paper. Even at school, you make the papers as well for the all
Yes.
students. Then, what kind of a challenge our students are having with the second paper? So the second paper also has got a certain characteristics that they have to identify. Unlike in paper one, I can remember that you mentioned in paper one. Uh, all the students have got opportunity to score well and get through the examination, but the second paper also is very supportive to go to details like credit, b pass or a pass. Then and also not only getting good detail for the paper, I think they must thorough in knowledge, especially what kind of things focus in paper 2. So today also I come to a, like this setup, or I line up these things to in order to cater our students well. Uh, Good evening, Miss
Yeah. Good
Shama. Then
evening.
our good teacher, because last week we experienced a lot from you.
Thank you.
And yeah, then first of all, I would like to for get your attention for the paper structure and purpose. What is the main objective of the paper two, and how does it differ from paper one in items or assessment focusing?
Uh, First of all, we will take a look at the structure of paper two. There you find test 9, a vocabulary activity. We have only one there.
Yeah.
And another two grammar and language function activities,
Yes.
test 10 and 12. Then you have two writing activities, test 14 and 16,
Yeah.
and three reading activities, test 11, 13, and 15. When we think of the objective, the both papers have the same objective, that is to test the language ability of the students in reading, writing, vocabulary and language functions, grammar and language functions. But the second paper has somewhat weight in that,
Yeah.
not like the first paper. In the first paper, you are given an example for each of the activities to be done, what to do, and all. But in the second paper, you don't get that. examples and
If
all.
I interrupt you for a bit,
Yeah,
when we have a look on that structure,
yeah,
as in paper one, here also they have one vocabulary,
yeah.
grammar and language function one question,
No,
three reading
two.
questions. Sorry, two
Yeah,
grammar and language function, three reading questions, and two writing questions.
questions.
So I think in the paper one there were two vocabulary questions,
Yes.
but here one vocabulary.
Yeah,
Instead, they have included grammar and language function,
two
two
activities.
activities. Okay, then there are reading questions,
Yeah, both
like in,
have
yeah,
three
like in
each.
paper one, three, and here also three, like that.
Three.
But what you are going to say is very important. Even though we have like the same structure here, but the weight could be different. How
Yes.
can you explain that? Yes.
The paper one is set for anybody to score a mark there.
Yeah.
Even a weaker one
Yes.
are able to do so. But in the second paper, it is somewhat challenging, and you need some kind of hard practice there to understand the questions and to cater them, especially these reading activities. And the two writing activities demand a lot of knowledge in grammar and structures. Therefore, the second one is a little bit harder.
Hard. Next, I like to ask this tougher question. How do the different sections of paper two contribute to evaluating students' overall language proficiency?
Yeah. They have these skills, vocabulary, language and language functions and grammar and writing and reading. So based on that, they have to produce their answers and score. For vocabulary, you have only 5 marks, and for others, uh, the marks are differentiated. For reading, you have 7 marks for one, and another 8 marks for the last reading,
Test
and
15.
test 15, and another 5 marks for this matching activity. There is captions and text matching.
Yeah,
So the marks are allocated as that. Through reading, you can score more marks.
more marks.
And for the last writing activity, you are given 15 marks. And there you have to uh,
That
score
is the highest mark.
a
I think
highest
that
mark.
one question is allocated in the paper,
Yes.
15. Then, is there a recommended time allocation for each questions in paper two?
Actually, there is no uh, the rule like dividing the time. You have 120 minutes. It
Yeah,
means 2 hours to do the 8 questions. And in that 8 questions, there are two writing activities which will need a bit longer time
longer
than
time.
filling blanks and matching and all. So it is up to the student to divide the time accordingly, because sometimes students get these reading activities easy, so it will get a few minutes less
Yeah,
than the writing. So as you have practiced at school and at home by doing the papers and all, you are free to divide the time within the two.
among the
Yeah,
questions.
among the questions, the 2 hours should be used maximally.
Maximum. If I make a little suggestion like that, I mean that if the students are possible to approach writing questions, if they start with them, is there a benefit for them? I mean, for the test number 14 and 16, collectively, when get them, total is 25.
25.
So, isn't it a good thing that they try first for the 25 marks?
Yeah, if they are
Because
really.
I could hear mostly students say that time was not enough for the essay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then how can manage that?
Yeah, that is actually the students have must have that confidence whether to start with the writing activity or to do something easy and be familiar with the paper.
Yeah,
But the thing is that you need time to read the paper also.
yeah,
Therefore, just allocate 5 to 8 minutes to read the paper. Otherwise, you will not get what the paper is asking from you.
yeah. My experience is that I've heard mostly students told that test 11, the
Yeah,
close passage,
close
right?
passage.
They have taken much time for that
Yeah, it takes a lot of time
time.
because they are seeing the passage for the first time, and they have to read and guess the words
Guess the words.
and fill the blank. And sometimes, if the word is wrong, you will feel that, and you have to go through the passage 2 or 3 times. It
Yeah.
takes a little bit of time.
Time. So students have to be aware how to allocate the time for each questions, and they can consider about the marks allocated for each question, and for what they have to give priority. Then, if they are possible to write essay, if they are willing, they can go to the essay and save the time for the other questions as well. Otherwise, they always they I could hear that they were fuzzing. The time was not enough for the essay like that. That's why I raised that question in the middle. Regarding grammar and vocabulary in the paper too, actually, what types of grammar and language functions are commonly tested in questions 10 and 12?
12. Question 10 and 12 deals with grammar and language functions. There, we just cannot say this type of question would come.
Come.
It will be on any type of sentence pattern,
Yeah.
any tense,
Yeah.
even active and passive voice
Passive
can be
voice.
there, direct and
Indirect
indirect.
speech.
Sometimes there can be question formation activity
Yeah.
because they have come in recent years.
Yeah.
Therefore, there is no particular prediction that what would come in
What would
this
come like that?
in these questions. Therefore, you must have a thorough knowledge in every aspect of the language.
Language. Yeah. And also, I think it is very supportive to do past papers and model papers,
Yes.
having support from the school. It's a better way to, I think,
Yes.
approach that questions.
That is the practice, that
Yeah.
when you see the question only, you understand what tense would come here, what sort of a word or a phrase would come there. Therefore, you need to practice
Practice.
and see the art of it. There
Yeah.
is an art that
Yeah.
when you read only, you understand that, and then decide on what to write in the blank.
Yeah, today our effort is also make so many understanding about the
Yes.
structure and how to make approaches for each and every question to score well and go to a good result. Next, I would like to talk about uh, a vocabulary section. Will the vocabulary section, if I name the question or test number
Nine.
9,
Yeah.
focus on contextual word usage or direct word meaning relationships?
It is based on contextual meaning,
Meaning.
because we are not asking the words and their meaning directly,
Yeah.
but they have to go through the passage and find the meaning. Uh, Very recently, mm, they are given the words as a MCQ.
MCQ.
So they have to read through the line and decide whether it is the noun that matches for the blank,
Yeah.
or the verb or the adverb, such as.
Such as.
The blank is given and the words are given. The instruction is to underline the most suitable word.
Word.
But sometimes uh, students tend to write this word in the blank. It is okay that you do so, but remember to write the correct spelling. As
Otherwise, they will lose the mark.
yeah, they will lose the mark, and it is easy to underline. Therefore,
Underline.
do that. Don't go for writing the word in the
Because
blank.
if there is any shortage, I mean, if they have scored like 25, 30 marks in paper 1, and there's a possibility to acquire some marks from paper 2 as well, especially the question like 9.
Yes.
Yeah, 9, 10. There is a certain possibility to have some
Yes.
more marks. And then, is there a uh, are the students expected to know specific grammar rules or word list for the test?
Actually, we don't ask for specific grammar.
Yeah.
The grammar question is given through either a passage or a dialogue or something like that. They have to fill the blanks accordingly. And for word lists, like we are not asking any word list there, but they have to be familiar with the similar words,
Yeah.
difficult like antonyms and synonyms,
Synonyms.
even collect these.
Collective nouns.
Collective nouns and other forms of verbs,
Verbs.
they have to be familiar with. uh, it is
Abstract nouns.
Yeah, it is good that they have a good knowledge in those aspects of
Aspects.
grammar.
Okay. Then our teacher mentioned, dear students, particularly active passive voice, direct indirect speech, sometimes conjunctions also
Yes.
could be experienced in the same question. So you have to particularly study about these structures. Then what kind of then if you have any question to raise, what kind of area could come from those lessons? Our answer is to you practice past papers.
Yeah.
Then they will guide you the standard, the expected level that in the paper. So I think doing or practicing papers more is actually very supportive to have a clear picture about the paper. Sometimes some students say that, "Sir, I guess so. I
Yeah.
guess those questions would come to the paper." Then I asked how. Then they say, "Sir, by doing past papers."
Yes.
There is a little rhythm of
There's a
that
rhythm.
questions are have been normally asked like
Yeah.
that. Okay, Mrs. Liyanage, our teacher, I would
Yeah.
like to question you regarding comprehension part. As we mentioned at the beginning, there
Yeah.
are three reading questions. Question test number 11, test number 13, and test number 15. I think when we uh, get the marks like 8,
7.
yeah, it for 13 and
Another 5.
another 5. That means 18 marks.
Yes.
18 marks. It's a big contribution.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
contribution.
Then this is what I on behalf of you, I ask these questions. Then you have to listen carefully these things, and you have to understand, because those tips and guidance will be very useful for you. So we ask the question from our teacher. What types of text will appear in the reading sections? I mean, whether it is a fiction, non-fiction, dialogue, or articles. If you explain about that.
Yeah. When we talk about the closed passage, that can come in any form. Uh, Authentic material can be there, or a passage from a novel, or another text. Anything
Or
can
real life
come.
scenario.
Yeah, anything can come.
Yeah.
There, what you have to do is to the words are given
Yeah.
with blanks, and you have to select the correct word and fill the blank. There also you have to be very careful with the spellings when you write the word from the
Box
box to the blank.
blank. Yeah.
And it, as I said earlier, it will take a little bit of time because the passage is not familiar,
Yeah.
and you have to choose the correct word from the box and write. Sometimes,
Yeah.
not sometimes, many of the students find it a little bit challenging.
And also I could experience that they focus that, I mean, overall grammar.
Yeah.
Yes. Then Shama teacher, then I use normally, I mean, that when I teach, I ask students to use a certain strategy to apply for that question. That means,
Yes.
as you mentioned earlier, you mentioned a bit about that. I ask students to read sentences wise and identify where the blank is.
Yeah.
So for that blank, you have to see whether verb is applied,
Yeah.
or noun, or preposition, conjunction.
Yeah.
What then they have to identify the uh, where the position or the blank is in the
Yeah.
sentence.
Yes. That is the
Yeah,
strategy that you have to
yeah.
use there.
Then at the beginning, they can take the pencil and
Yeah.
uh, classify the words. I mean, like noun, verb, prepositions like that, and then see whether each and every blank. I think that choosing one word from 14 is, I think, somewhat.
They are given another extra word also.
Yeah, extra word
Sometimes
also.
one or two is given.
Yeah, then this is really challenging. But if you separate them to according to the word class, I think it will easy to
Yeah.
apply all those words in the blanks.
Yeah. The first is to read the box, the
Yeah,
words in the box, and identify what sort of words are given.
given,
Yeah,
yes.
whether it is an article or a connector or something like that.
Yeah,
And then only you can come to the passage, because while you are reading, your mind tells you there should be a verb in
yeah,
this blank, and there should be an adverb or a preposition like that. That common sense can be used there.
yeah.
For that, you have to have the practice of reading a
Reading,
lot.
yes. On the other hand, then if they found three blanks that they have to apply the verb, then easy to choose correct verb from three to apply for that.
Yes.
By reading, they can get the context and decide whether it is right or
Yes.
wrong. Yeah, it's a. I think, dear students, it's a good way to face the test 11 because it's really
Just
challenging.
yeah,
Because you have to remember all the grammar structures that you have that you have learned.
yeah.
Okay, next.
Yes,
Yeah,
question number 15.
yeah,
In question number 15, a rather lengthy passage is
yeah,
given. There can be difficult words that you will come across for the first time in your life, like,
yeah.
and the activities are given in such a way that the first is to say whether the statements that are given are true or
True or
false.
false?
There you have to be very careful when you're writing T and F.
Yeah,
First you put T and then you put, if you want to make it F, you just cut that line
line,
and make it F, but don't do so. Just cut it off with one
line.
line and write the correct letter there. And recently, the other questions are given in multiple choice,
Yeah,
and it is very easy to find the answers and underline.
yeah.
Earlier, it was a little bit challenging.
Challenging,
Now it has made a little bit easier for
easy.
you. So reading the 15th question is very important. There you are getting 8 marks.
Yeah.
There can be reference questions. These difficult words and their meanings. Sometimes finding the synonym can come there.
Sometimes they ask, what does the word underline
Yeah, refer to.
refer to?
Uh,
Even the sometime passage and line,
yes.
it is in bold type,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Therefore, you have to be very careful in reading because without understanding the passage properly, you cannot go for the activities, especially this true false activity.
Teacher, I am going to disturb you for a
Yeah.
moment. That uh, this is I'm asking on behalf of our students. Uh, if there is any possibility to analyze each and every question. I mean
Uh,
that under question number 15, test number 15.
yeah. First, it is true false activity.
Yeah.
And then from paragraph 1 to 2, 3, like they give some questions to get the direct answers. Sometimes you are asked to find uh, a similar word from the passage that is given, the meaning is given, and sometimes you are to find a suitable topic or a subtopic for the given passage also,
Passage
like they are the different reading skills are tested in
tested there.
test 15.
Okay. What about the other?
Only
Uh,
three,
Only
11,
three. Yeah,
yeah.
already we
The
discussed.
other one,
13th one.
the 13th one, there is a text
Yeah.
that you have to match with the captions that are given. So there it is challenging
Yeah.
because there can be one extra caption is given.
Yeah.
So you have to read those text and get the correct caption from the box given and write the letter in the given space, the
Given
box.
space.
Sometimes two captions can go together. That is tricky. So you have to read the text very carefully. Sometimes there can be leads. Some words are in the text which links with the captions in the given box. So read it mindfully and try to match. That is a matching activity.
Matching activity.
So that taking,
Sometimes a poem also could be asked there.
yeah, earlier there were poems, but recently
Recently
poems are
not
not given.
given
There the 5 marks that you can score there is easily
easily.
taken, can be easily taken.
Yeah, I think what you explained about reading questions, I think there is a good clue for the students that
Yeah.
they can score well in the paper two as well.
Yes.
We are not suggesting that they have to master the paper one and come and get marks and get through that. We ask both papers to master and
Yeah.
come.
Yes.
That is particular thing that you highlighted. The students have there is an ample opportunity them to master some questions in paper 2 as well to
Yeah.
get good marks.
Yes, reading ones can be done very easily
Yeah.
because it does not require a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Because reading is something simple that they have practiced for so long.
So long. Yeah.
Losing marks there is pathetic.
Pathetic, really. Okay, then how should students approach the different reading questions to maximize their scores?
uh, First thing is reading mindfully.
Yes.
You have to go through the question again, the instructions.
Do they
What?
need to understand all the thing or they don't?
No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
Just guess the things in the context. When
Yeah.
you read it for 2 3 times, you get the
Can get the
idea,
idea.
and then lead go by the lead of the question word, where, what,
Yes.
when. So you can find where the answer is. uh, Pay attention to the question word.
Question word.
Yeah.
And also first 2 3 questions are actually not challenging.
Yes.
They can easily
They,
approach.
yeah, they can directly get the answer
Yeah.
from the text. And there is one thing, when you're answering those, you don't have to produce a
Produce
full
there.
sentence. You can just write the answer, but there you have to be very careful. If there is a preposition that is very important in the answer, you have to
Yes.
put that. For example, if someone is asking, where is the pen is on the table.
Yeah.
So you have to write the answer
Table.
on the table. Just
Mostly
the
they
table,
write
yeah,
table.
just the table will not carry marks,
Yeah.
because uh, there is a particular place the pen is, that is
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
table. That preposition is very important. Therefore, when writing answers, don't drop
Yeah.
important words.
Yeah. That means when they pick the answer, you pick the answer with the proportion.
Yes.
Then if they want to mention about the time, then get the proportions at
Yeah.
O on then appropriately.
Appropriately.
Yes. Very clear. Yes. Then uh, will marks be deducted for incomplete answers in reading comprehension? You told about a bit, but
Yeah.
now we can analyze it for the students.
Normally, we look for the answer in the question, and if they have provided the answer, it's okay. Sometimes there can be just letters just misspelled, like table. There can be b written as d. uh, in the marking master, sometimes they give us the
Instructions.
instructions to avoid, just to
Yeah.
get rid of them, and
Yeah. That is
don't.
not encouraging them
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
drop in. Right.
Don't do that. But
Yeah.
sometimes, if you have understood
Yeah.
the answer
Because
correctly,
sometimes they always expect our mercy.
yeah, uh, if they have understood the answer and if they have produced it in the blank, we allocate marks.
Yeah. Yeah, then, dear students, you do not expect the sympathy from the marker.
Yes.
Sometimes examiners are asked, "Nee, this is the third shy I'm doing, and my innocent mother, innocent father is
Yes.
they are
They write
waiting
letters.
eagerly for my results. So please help us like that. Sometimes help me like that. Sometimes they have mentioned in pencil. I've
Yes.
seen in papers. I think
Yes.
our teacher also experienced such
Yeah, yeah.
situations. Actually, the teachers who always assist you, facilitate you in schools, they are qualified and they have a lot of experience. You get the support at the time that you want without procrastinating. We have to avoid always procrastination.
Yeah.
And I mean, that do not postpone wherever, whenever happen to face any problem or challenge in your paper. The teacher asks always you to practice is very important. Last week also mentioned
Yeah.
practice makes be perfect.
Yeah.
So then if you practice only, you can experience this. And also, I think it's really interesting,
Yes.
as our teacher mentioned last week, make the language as your friend, right? It's very supportive. Take it that our teachers advise, because with thorough experience, she's talking about the paper, and she has, without any stingy, she share all the things with you, because our expectation, our radio expectation, our institution, NIE, also they expect to make your language proficiency, to enrich it, to make it high, and make you more skillful students, and to contribute the development of the country at last. Then we have national goals.
Yes.
And otherwise not,
This
yeah,
is the key point.
key point, yeah.
Yeah, they should have to have a good pass in
Yeah,
GCE O levels
yeah,
to go for other higher educations and all.
yeah.
And a credit in C is a must.
Must, for the professional purposes as well as higher studies.
Yes.
Then if there is any student who's willing to go to law college,
Yeah.
then I think credit is must.
Yeah. Even to
Likewise,
enter the university also,
yeah,
O level credit is a must.
must is. Then, teacher, I would like to get your attention to the writing section. So, what kind of writing task will be included in questions uh, 14 and 16? How can you explain that to
Yeah.
our students? And how could you share your valuable tips with them to improve their marks, to
Yes.
accelerate their marks?
Yeah. If we will first focus on question number 14. It there you have a choice. First is to write a letter or a description of a graph.
Graph.
First, we will take a look at the letter because for any student, it is easy to score marks by writing the letter.
By writing letter.
Because almost all the time they have asked for these informal letters. It is very easy because you are given the guidelines to do something like this. You are after the O levels, you are going on a trip and ask your friend to join you,
That
and
means the content is given.
yeah, the content is
If they
given.
touch the content, they can score the
Yeah,
marks.
yes, that's it. If you have written on all the points that are given there, you will get all the marks for content. For content, you are getting 3 marks. And if you follow the guidelines, you can easily get the 3 marks.
Yeah.
And then, if it is an official letter, you have to write it in according to the given format that you
Format
have
is.
learned. So
Teacher,
at
if you
school.
mention about that, I also have heard that there are three formats like British traditional block, British semi block, and American block. We know that traditional block is not used;
Yeah.
it is not accepted. But semi block and American block could be used.
Yeah. Now we are looking for this. Not actually, if it is in that normal format, we say that left hand
Yeah,
side, everything.
yeah. Sometimes students do not know with the names of the
Yeah,
format.
yeah, format.
Yeah, it is not
Uh,
compulsory.
yeah, all the addresses and the
Salutation,
paragraphs and all should
date,
be in the right left hand side line.
line. Yeah,
Even the ending should be there.
yeah.
And if the letter is in the correct format, you get marks.
Marks.
And if you have written on all the uh,
If I
guidelines
disturb you
given,
for a bit, then
yeah,
when they want to separate paragraphs, is it okay if they leave a line and start new paragraph?
the thing is that the
Yeah,
space given in the paper
it's limited.
is limited, so you have to
Manage
use that space to answer the question. Therefore, it is better that you manage your
space.
handwriting. Yes, right.
They can leave a certain length and start
Yes,
paragraphs always.
yes. And then, if you have written with good language, with
Yeah,
no errors and no spelling mistakes, most of the marks can be scored in
yeah.
this letter writing. The second choice is to write on a given bar graph, maybe a pie chart, maybe there can be a Venn diagram.
Teacher, before go to that, I have another little question to ask you,
What?
because that when we give marks, when the even though the content is okay, but
Yeah.
if there are language errors, can we offer full mark for the content?
No, no.
We can't.
Yeah. For the language, you will get marks like this. 3 marks will be given with no errors.
Yeah,
No errors, and well connected sentences should be there, and uh, the content, everything is included. If you have made some errors with not connected sentences, well connected sentences, and so on and so forth, you will get 2. And only a few correct sentences, grammatically correct sentences, you can score 1 mark there. And if all the sentences are not in
correct.
correctly, we will not offer any mark there. If you get a 0 for that,
Yeah,
you will not be able to score all the marks for the content
content
and
as well as
the organization and mechanics of
yeah.
writing.
Yeah, there's another thing to ask from you.
Yeah.
That is, if the content is wrong, no
No.
marks award for
Yeah.
other
Yes.
sections. And also about M, students do not know what is this ZO, what is this LO, what is this O, what is this M. Some students know about the come and ask so me teacher, what does triple C L
Mm.
like that?
Yeah.
That particularly I want to ask you that you explain clearly well about C mean content, L mean language, and O mean organization, and M mean mechanics of writing.
Yeah.
So mechanics of writing is included capitalization,
Yeah.
spelling,
Yeah.
and punctuation.
Punctuations.
So students are checked. I mean, spelling two times in language part as well as mechanism part.
Yeah. If they start with if they start a sentence with a capital letter, and if they are to put a full stop or a comma or a question mark,
Where
uh,
necessary.
where necessary, with correct spellings and all, one or two marks can be scored there.
Without hesitation.
Yeah.
When they do the part well, I mean language part well, then they are when they present the content well, that organizing and mechanism part could be acquired without any trouble.
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you. Let's continue.
Then we were talking about the
Part A, then part B
part
now.
B.
Graph
There,
describing.
there can be a bar graph or a pie chart. There can be sometimes a Venn diagram or a table. In one year, a table was given to be discussed. So, my advice is that if you are not confident enough in grammar structures,
Yeah.
don't try to answer that, because last year, mm, the
Ah,
bar graph was given in a different way.
yeah. They
The
have to be mindful.
Yeah, the axis was changed.
Yeah.
For the horizontal axis, normally we get the description and the
Yeah.
numbers in the vertical axis.
Vertical axis. Yeah.
Last year it was changed. The students who came by hearted the thing just started
As it
writing.
comes to their mind,
Yeah,
they wrote.
just started writing what they have by hearted, and it was wrong. So
Wrong.
they could not score marks.
Axis was changed.
Yeah, the axis was changed. Therefore, if only you are confident enough to answer the uh, charts, you do that. If not, go for the letter writing. Some students, they do very nicely,
Yeah.
especially when the percentages are given,
Yeah.
not the numbers.
Yeah.
They mix up, they in between write the number of students without the percentage.
Yeah.
So you have to be very mindful when you are writing the answer for this big,
They have to carefully study the
yeah,
differences.
bar chart.
Yeah. It could be bar chart or pie chart. Sometimes the ratios also could become. In 2018, I could experience that ratios come. Even a table, they have to
Yeah.
describe.
Yes.
Then sometimes we can see that in bar graph also double bars are
Yeah.
given.
There was
Yeah.
once
Yeah,
they had.
if we have there, I think we have some time to explain for that also. If you, yes,
Yes. If there are two bars, double bars, you have to uh, explain that also without. You have to compare the two, whether it is female or male,
yeah,
whether it is that 2 years like
yeah,
2021 and
comparing and
2022. Yeah, yeah.
contrasting.
Uh, we expect each and every detail to be discussed in the answer.
Answer.
So it is challenging.
And
Not.
also, I can remember something that we when we was instructed then asked when we give a full mark, it is very important whether students. It is very important to check whether students have written like three, at least three complex sentences.
Yeah. For that, they give some words like
Yeah,
more, most, and least, and more than, less
yeah.
than. The words
Vocabulary
are,
is
yeah.
provided. Yeah,
So the students have to use those words in the
they
sentences.
must
They must. They have to do that.
use.
Otherwise, marks would not be
Because
given.
when we decide the marks for the content,
Yeah.
we aware about whether the given words are used or
Yeah.
not.
Use. Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Then text 16,
Yeah.
the essay type questions.
Yeah.
There you are given some choices, either to write an essay or
Yeah.
an article. You can write a
Four
speech.
options, right?
Yeah, speech. Or then lastly, a storyline, or sometimes a dialogue can come.
And also we can remember that in certain years they have asked write a story that you know,
Yeah,
a
a
folk
folk
story,
story or
folk
something
story.
like that.
Yeah.
Uh, there you are getting 15 marks.
Yeah.
For content, 5.
5.
For language, 5. And this organization, you get 2.
2 marks.
And mechanics of writing, you get 3
Three
marks.
marks. Yeah.
So when you choose an essay or the article, there should be that format. If you are using the speech, if you're going to write on the
Yeah.
speech, the start and the end should be according to a speech.
Speech. Yeah.
And if it is the story, that should be very interesting. And
There should be a flow,
yeah, there should be the
beginning,
flow.
middle, and conclusion.
Yeah. Sometimes when the students tend to write the answer for the storyline, they write the story for 2 3 years. Like, it means when they start writing, one day this thing happened and I brought a puppy and now the puppy is growing and now he is 15 years old. Everything is given. Uh, we don't expect that.
That much.
It is okay that if they can write like that, but the story should be very interesting and
Like
uh,
one incident,
yeah,
everything
precise and
precise.
interesting twist should be there.
Yeah.
Something that we do not expect. The markers will not expect your end. So
Yeah.
there should be very nice flow with a twist.
Twist.
Yeah.
And also, what are the strategies that they can use when they write a dialogue or a story?
For the story, that they have to follow the line that they have been given. So in according to
Yeah,
that thing,
sometimes for the answer, beginning statement is given.
yes,
One day when I went to the lake, there was like that.
yeah,
Then the students have to develop from.
develop that.
Yeah,
And even writing dialogues, first and the second dialogue, the starting lines are
yeah,
given,
yeah.
so they have to
Develop.
develop according to that. And that also should be in a very uh, nice manner.
Yeah,
And the content should be very connected to the
content and
yeah,
what.
topic given.
Yeah,
If we are talking about your past school experience,
that
the
should be
that should be the topic,
topic.
and not the present thing or the things that you're going to do in future,
Yeah,
but about your past school
experience.
experience.
They have to choose the correct tenses as well when they write
Yes, they are free to use any tense there according to the topic.
appropriately.
Yeah, appropriately. If you are writing an essay, the present tense,
Yeah,
anything can come. But
yeah.
if it is the story referring to a past incident,
There should be
uh,
sim. It
yeah,
should be in simple past,
yeah,
past
past
continuous, and
tense
all.
is the one we are looking for, whether uh, he or she has understood the
They can include dialogues also when they write the story.
yeah, never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. Then those dialogues could be used in the relevant tense also.
Yes.
That is important.
Yeah. If we are writing something in between in direct speech,
Yeah.
put quotation marks and write
Yes.
them. And we are looking for that in this mechanics of
Yeah.
writing.
Allocated 3 marks for that.
Yes.
Okay. Then, uh, if you can, if you're possible now to contrast the essay and article.
There is no particular change in that.
Yeah.
You start an essay, even an article in the same way, but article, it should be with the rich vocabulary. There can be passive voice used
Yeah.
because you have seen
And
the articles.
report speech also could be used there.
Yes. For the essay, that all the points that are given should be included in
Included.
that. That can be done easily, but when writing an article, you have to be mindful in giving those rich vocabulary. We are looking for that.
Yeah. Then, how should students structure their answers in the writing section to meet the assessment criteria? Already explained some.
Yeah. In the same way that the content we look for, whether the student has written in almost in good connected, well connected sentences, and the pointed are included and all, and the grammar we are looking for. Even we are looking for the paragraphing, whether introduction is done, whether the points are given, and finally there is a conclusion. So if a student can manage those things properly, earning
Marks is not
yeah, 12, 13 out of 15 is not
not
very
difficult.
difficult.
Yeah. And also relating to spelling and grammar, another simple question I'm going to ask you:
Yeah.
are spelling and grammar errors penalized in the writing section, or is the focus more on content?
uh, there is content, you get 5 marks. Language, you get 5 marks. When you are making mistakes in grammar, language part, you will be penalized.
Penalized.
If you make errors in spellings and this punctuations and all, mechanics of writing, the marks
Again.
there will be reduced.
Yeah. Okay, I think students are really. Uh, I think students, you students can understand. I think it's clear what she explained well.
And there's
Uh,
one thing I have to add there.
yeah,
If the word count, they are given a word limit.
number of words.
Yeah, use 200 words or so.
Yeah,
If your word count is less than 50,
yeah.
you will not be able to score marks. Your
Ah,
overall mark will be only 5
five
because of the length.
length.
So it is better you can produce a little bit of either 3 paragraphs, like
Yeah,
for the essay or the article. Just try to write at least the three
three
paragraphs with the
paragraphs.
given guidelines.
And also, there may be students who are possible to write like 10, 15 sentences. What we can then tell them, because without writing is better, or at least if they can try like 15, 10, 15 sentences, that is better or not
Yeah, trying is
better.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to try and then only you improve.
improve, yeah.
Yeah, so it is easy if you follow the guidelines.
Guidelines.
Get one guideline and think of it, and just try to write 3 4 sentences based on that, so you will be able to develop your essay very nicely.
Very nice. Yeah, apart from structure, I
Yeah.
would like to ask you another three questions. The
Okay.
first question is, could you explain how the partial marks, like half mark, are awarded in the reading sections?
Half marks are given for 2 questions, mainly that close passage.
Okay,
You are getting 14 blanks there, but you get only 7 marks.
seven
It means
marks
half mark each.
is there.
When the word is wrong, marks are deducted.
Deducted
And in the reading section, the true false activity, you
also.
get half marks. Mainly, you get 4 sentences there to put right or wrong or true
True,
false.
false.
So you score 2 marks there.
Okay.
And then sometimes in reading section in question 15, for reference questions, you will get half mark because you are asked 2 questions there. Recently, that was not there.
Okay.
Only for this true false activity,
Yeah.
partial marks are given. The others, you can score 1 or 2.
Marks. Then
Yeah.
there's no any possibility of having partial marks for the other questions.
No,
Only
no.
in these situations
Yes.
only. Okay. What common mistakes do students make in paper two, and how can they avoid such situations?
uh, the most common thing is that when they are asked to underline the answer, they write. By writing, they misspell
Me-
and they lose marks.
Marks.
And therefore, reading the instructions and following the instructions is very much
Very much
important.
important.
Not only in paper two, in paper one, it
Paper
is
one
very
as well.
important. Uh, and doing that close passage, it is my advice to use a pencil to write the words. And while you are writing the word in the blank, at the same moment, cut the word that is there in the box. Otherwise, sometimes you will mix up and write the same word in 2 places. And you have to be very mindful. When you are sure only about the answer, just make it in ink.
Because one word could be applied to one blank only.
Yes, you can use one word once. And then spellings should be catered. Yeah, don't write in rush. Your handwriting should be very clear, because sometimes when your O, A,
Yeah.
U cannot be identified if you write in such a way, and the markers will find it
Yeah.
difficult to understand what the word that the answer is given by the student.
Students.
And when you're describing charts, very be very precise on the words that you choose and the grammar structures, this percentage and number. Most students miss
If I disturb you for a
yeah,
bit in in graph writing,
yeah.
in that questions, they ask the following.
Mm.
When the students start, they can't use the word follow there.
Yeah, the following bar chart gives you like this.
Yeah, they then instead
They
of them, they have to
yeah,
above given above. They
yeah,
have to use
the given bar chart or the bar chart. Just say
yeah.
the bar chart, discuss
Then no need to
like
make
this.
any mess there.
Yeah.
Do not then that I've experienced that mostly when they write the introductory sentence in
Yes.
graph describing,
Mm.
um, they made that mistake.
They make the mistake in that
Yeah,
they use the same word, the following.
yeah.
Then
And
again,
also sometimes you, then
yes,
they
you are
also
to,
write as for you.
yeah, you are asked to do so, and
Yeah,
you are asked like that. They repeat,
yeah.
and sometimes uh, they write the same thing from the question,
Question,
and sometimes they write answers taking sections from the other paragraphs and all.
paragraphs. Yeah,
So don't do so. They don't
yeah,
carry any mark
yeah.
there. And also, when you're writing uh, essays, be mindful of the tense that you are writing. If it is the passive voice, yeah, write the correct
Form.
form. And there are certain few things that you have to pay attention. If you can avoid those small mistakes,
Yeah.
uh, marks will come to you.
Come to, yeah, that means imagine that you are going to face your very important examination, because it decides so many things about your future. Then that we can question you students, why don't you prepare well? Even I think even if you start it today,
Yeah.
I mean, focus in the tips and instructions that our teacher provided you today, you can I think raise your marks.
Yes.
The following instructions is very important, isn't
Important.
it? Yeah. Then last question regarding the paper.
Yeah.
Are there any recommended practice materials or strategies to prepare effectively for the paper two?
Uh, Not only paper two, mm,
Yeah,
English paper comes in one, two out together.
yeah,
The government provides a lot of practice papers. Even the provincial educational office and zonal educational offices, they provide practice papers. These days, there
yeah.
are so many practice papers given
Yeah,
by the
students are
zonal.
catered
Yeah,
always
the
giving seminars,
yeah, in seminars and all, and
virtually, physically, both.
so write them and get the practice, because we mostly check the writing ability and reading ability in this paper.
Yeah,
So if we can cater those, mm, it is not a difficult task to get marks. So that is up to you, dear
yeah,
students, that think this is your last chance, like,
yeah.
and get ready and be prepared. That
And
is,
also the most important occasion for them.
yes. Uh, when you sit for the exam for the first time, uh, you will feel a little bit excited. But when you come for the English paper, you have now be familiarized with that.
Yeah,
Therefore, don't panic there. That is something easy. Uh, though we feel that English is difficult, it is not
difficult.
difficult. It is easy. Follow the instructions and read the paper very mindfully. Then sometimes answers can come to your mind without any effort.
Effort, yeah.
Yes. Therefore, my advice is that do practice papers, because when you know the structure of the question, uh, you will not be hesitant in answering the questions.
Yeah.
Therefore, be mindful
Be mindful.
and be calm.
Yeah. Okay, then step by little, we come to the end of the session. Today, we shared with you very important segment, especially focusing on paper two. Then last week, we discussed with you the paper one, and today, paper two. To make this a successful one, we invited Mrs. Shyama Liyanage. She is an English teacher. She works at Sapugaskanda Maha Vidyalaya. And thank you very much sharing your valuable time, your insights, focusing the particulars in paper one and paper two in order to accelerate marks of our students. And also, our grateful thanks should be given to Shami Miss as well as Dr. Chamila Nishanti Edward. She's our producer. She only guides and directs us to do these things on behalf of um, uh, Alpha U Radio. And you know that always Alpha, your youth radio is ready to cater you to showcase your skills and talents, sharing valuable insights of expertise, inviting like this to the studio. So today also, I suppose that uh, you entertain a good session, very useful session, particularly to increase your marks and avoid your common mistakes. And some tips that you can use to enrich your skills and talents, especially English language proficiency. On the other hand, I think parents also listen to us, and elder listeners also are with us always. Then I think these things are valuable not only for the all your students, but also those who prepare for the examinations, for your preparations, to be mindful with the instructions, guidelines, and preparations and structure of examination. I think you could focus all these things well if you listen to us well. And suppose that you had a nice nice session with us today. Then hope to see you then to continue our work in another session every day, every Wednesday, 2 to 4. I'll come with you. I'll come to you with the program, The Inspirator, to inspire you to learn English. With This is your favorite platform to learn English. You know that there are a few segments, as I mentioned you, a story of success, uh, easy to learn English, vocabulary for today, and the creator of mind. So, with these all features, hope to see you next week as well to continue our task. Then I wish you a very pleasant week ahead to succeed your all the attempts. Thank you. Have a nice day to all.